Um,
Actually, what we can do, the flip side would be the high IQ of the week.
hey,
Um,
that's a good idea.
and we'll give that to Marcus. He was having some connection issues and asked to be put at the end of the line, so we did, and it worked out because he apparently had a pretty fatal issue and he ended up in the barrels, which had he been where he wanted to or where he qualified, he probably would have taken a few guys out in the process. So in lieu of the idiot of the week, we'll give him the high IQ move of the week.
Marcus is never going to get that award again. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the ISRL podcast, and we've got YouTube this week. So if you want a visual, you want to see what we see, make sure to check out YouTube. I Can See More on YouTube. I mean, if we had a league channel, I guess I could have put it there, but I don't think we do, so it's on mine. So yeah, give me views, follows, all that stuff. Anyway, what's up? I'm Clinton Seymour, driver of the number 2 car.
And I'm Kyle Camper and trying to figure out how the hell I have 12 incidents a race on average.
Wow, dude, that's pretty serious.
What the hell?
So while he tries to figure that out, had a pretty solid race at Pocono today. This is race number 10 if we're counting the clash. Um, Ninth points race, and I think overall, man, it went pretty good. We'll get to Kyle's race in a minute as he's still bewildered about his incident count. Um, but
Means it went down. I got none this race.
oh, that's
Jesus.
good. How many did you get last race?
I don't know a lot.
um, yeah, I would have had 0 if it weren't for me eating the freaking wall. I think it was like with 3 to go, in turn 2, like lap 62 or something, and I'm riding behind the 41. I was kind of catching him, and I was pretty psyched about that. I would have been close to a top 10, not quite, but uh, yeah, I was going for 11th. I don't know if he hit the wall as hard as I did, but I sure as heck followed him right into the freaking wall, just ran it over. Uh, had some wheel damage on my car. Had ended up letting Mitchell get by me. He gave me 2 incident points. That kind of sucked, but that probably would have been my first race with no incidents too.
Rushed it a
Um,
few times tonight, but never enough to be more than a just a little contact thing. Nothing
y-
more than that.
yeah, same. I hit it probably a lot less than I thought I would have. But yeah, I did hit it a few times, dude. How'd your race go?
It was all right. Nothing special.
Where'd you start?
Where did I start? I don't know. Near the back. It was one of the last qualifiers. See if I can pull up the race results really quick. I can tell you.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
I
You
s-
started P25 and you
finished
finished
20th.
P20. Very nice.
Yeah, I think the short pitch strategy helped with that. After that caution came out, when everybody pit, I think Daryl, Josh, and myself pitted like 5 or 6 laps later,
hmm,
um, which was the last stop we did for the race. I don't think Josh took tires though, which I don't know if that was the call for him, but it seemed to work for us. I think that's what probably gained us those 5 spots. If we had pitted when everybody else did, we probably would have ended up lapped and way further down the list.
yeah, the pit strategy there towards the end got really interesting with the caution on, I think it was lap 23 or 24.
Yeah, I
Um,
think 23 coming to 24. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't quite halfway. I think all of us were getting close to running, needing to pit, but probably still had a few laps. But yeah, the caution came out before halfway, kind of threw everybody through a loop because you had about, I don't know, you were short about 2.5, 3 laps, somewhere in that neighborhood. Um, if you filled up whenever the caution came out, that was the case with me, and I know several people pitted early. I guess they wanted to maybe put another fresh set of tires on if they didn't during the caution. I'm not really sure how that strategy worked out for most people. Um, but I know that I went in and took 2 after the caution. I took 4 during the caution, and I just didn't want to. I know a lot of the rest of the team, Black Cloud and Renegade both, pitted earlier rather than later. Mitch and I, though, we wanted to get a little bit more out of our tires. They were still pretty fresh, so we stayed out, uh, pitted at lap 45. Um, I probably overall probably would have finished a lot better tonight had it not been for missing my pit stall so badly for the caution. Um,
Oh yeah.
I was so concentrated on not speeding and staying close to the dude in front of me that I think there was chatter in my ears too, but then all of a sudden I hear my crew chief go 2-1, and I'm like, oh crap, dude! Like I'm passing my pit box right now. What the heck? So yeah, I think I basically made it into the box ahead of mine. I had to back up really quick, but didn't hurt me too bad. I think I ended up coming back out about the same number position that I went in at, but several of the people I had worked so hard to pass, I had to pass again. But yeah, pretty dang good race on my end. Started 30th. I chose not to qualify. I didn't get a whole lot of practice in. Um, I just didn't really feel it's always easier for me to sit back maybe the first half of the race and kind of get a feel for the track and what everyone else is doing, and then that helps me figure out where I need to make my braking points, how when I need to turn into the corner, all that stuff. I can't really say that I picked up on any of that stuff that anyone else is doing other than when to brake early on. It seemed like a lot of people were braking a little bit earlier than I had expected. But yeah, I mean, overall race pretty good. Uh, Top 15. I don't
So
know if I've
you
had
got
one of those this season yet.
you got a bonus point for the most positions gained too.
Oh frick yeah! I did some slow math earlier, shortly thereafter the race, and was like, I think I might have that point. But yeah, I'll take what I can get. Um, yeah, I mean, pretty sweet race overall. Um, just had one caution tonight, which honestly I didn't think we were gonna have any. Um,
Neither did I. I was
but
really surprised we did.
right, so yeah, we had that one caution, and well, we went green the rest of the way, so that was pretty good. I don't know. I know there was a little bit of bumping besides the one caution we had because I heard some guys on the radio, you know, chime in on, you know, do I have damage? This, that, and the other. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, from my point of view, it looked pretty clean. How about yours?
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing that was nothing egregious, nothing looked, a couple little taps here and there, just guys who were I think with this everybody kind of drives it differently because you got three significantly different turns. So some
Yes.
guys back up the corners in some turns and drive it deeper in others. Heard a little bit of that, guys like, "Oh shit," kind of got you on the ass a little bit, things like that. Excuse me, but it was nobody really, you know, sent anybody or anything like that. I think it was clean for the most part. Just looking at the race, I mean, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys out of the 31 who started the race had incidents. So more than half didn't have a single incident point.
That's
Um,
that's pretty good considering that wall really sneaks up on you out of turn one.
right, the majority of them are 2x. So you know
Yeah.
that it was probably just smacking that wall once or twice, or just once in that case.
Right.
Um, No, I mean it was Pocono. It was nothing special. I mean, it was good. I felt like I was never by myself. I mean, there was a significant gap in front of me and behind me, but I was never like out there in no man's land, not seeing anybody. Um,
Yeah, that's one thing
so
I
I
can
mean, it
speak
was
on too.
you
It
know
was it was pretty exciting. Like there was, at least for me, there was always somebody to work to try and pass. Like nobody was completely out of reach, and I consider that a pretty fun race when I feel like I have a chance to race for the next position.
right, and that's the big thing, right? Like as long as you always see somebody, you've got something to go for, and you're trying different lines, or like I was towards the end of that first round, right before the caution, I was downshifting into third just to get a little bit more and help me get the car angled to the bottom a little bit. Just anything I could find just to get a little bit of time to catch back up. But it seemed like once the tires went, like they were gone, that was it. Um, to me and maybe it's just the way I was driving, but it didn't seem like it was gradual at all. It was one lap you were decent, the next lap it was like, oh, tires are gone.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed pretty well. It seemed pretty gradual to me. Just in I was never fast like all the guys that qualified. Um, they were putting up really good laps. Like Nick with his 53.5, um, Cody with his 53.6, like all the way down to P15. You had, well, I'm sorry, P14. You had 53 point something, and then P15 Jason Samito was 54.0, and like the fastest I could have managed. I think the fastest for the race. Let me look at that really quick. Yeah, my fastest during the race. No, that's wrong. What is this?
Your fastest for the race was a 54.4,
Yeah, thank
which
you. I'm slow.
which was on lap 47. So it shows that you were getting better as the race went on. You were figuring stuff out.
During
Um,
practice, I think my fastest was, where is it at? I have bad eyes apparently because I can't see this crap. Uh, there we go. Is that better? Yeah, 54.29 during practice. No,
okay.
54.24. So yeah, like I think I would have ended up qualifying like 22nd, 21st, somewhere in that neighborhood. But yeah, I'm pretty I feel like I was pretty dang slow, but overall, I don't think I was that far off the leader most of the time. Because every time I would get an update from the crew chief, he's like, "Oh, the leader did blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, that's only 3/10 off. Like, not too bad."
You did bring up Cody. He set the fastest lap in the race at a 53.722 on lap 48. So
Oh, jeez.
yeah,
Yeah. A lot of fast dudes out there tonight. Congratulations to AJ Hyder, who took home the victory. Um, dude's always
looks like we
fast
had.
week in and week out.
Oh yeah, looks like we had four guys lead laps today. Hyder with the most. Cody Webster led seven. Budemlik led two, and Kealoha Hankins led 13 of them.
Okay.
And I'm thinking Nick would have been at the start. Um, Kealoha led a lot of laps. He stayed out on that second
Yeah.
run quite a
Yeah.
while. I think he was probably hoping for a cautioner, trying to see how much he could really save, and finally had to admit defeat. Which, unfortunately, I mean, he started 18th, he finished 11th, but with how fast he was, I don't think that was really a where he finished was not an indication of how his race went at all.
Right. Yeah, Cody with that P2 on the grid, man. That was dude was lights out fast. I'm not exactly sure where yeah, he ended up 7th. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad at all, dude. Uh Top 10 AJ Hyder, of course. Connor Trafari pulled off a second place. Zach Lindgren in third, Jared Wishon in fourth, Jordan Kuntz in fifth, Michael Dorsey in sixth, Cody Webster in seventh, Nicholas in eighth, Aiden Smith in ninth, and Ryan Kendrick rounding out the top 10. Um, good job, dudes. Uh, yeah, like I said, pretty clean, pretty good race. Um, like I said, there was only one caution. We'll just go ahead and take a look at that right now. If
it
I
was nice to see while you pull it up. It was nice to see the kind of differing pit strategies. That's the one thing you like in a longer race, or I'm sorry, in a more of a caution-free race. You kind of see guys who are doing different things and not really relying on cautions to figure it out for them. Kealoha mentioned after the fact that he thought that he was kind of banking on a caution with 8 to 10 to go, just thinking that's um, how it might have turned out. But
right.
I can't fault him for giving it a shot because if that does happen, I mean, you're in the best spot because everybody's going to pit. So can't fault him there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got this replay going. So they're going into three right now. Or no, I'm sorry, that was two. You got the 46 and the 43 racing here. Looks like racing for 12th. And they as they come into three, I think this is the right lap. No, it's not.
That's the next one. Yeah, the
That's
next one.
fine. We'll just fast forward there real quick. So a little bit. I think it's maybe out of one. Eli gets next to him. It might be out of two. one of these
Yeah, I
laps,
haven't seen what led up to this.
Eli gets, yeah, out of two, Eli gets next to the 46 here. We'll watch it from a few different views. We'll start with TV one. Going into three, seems like they've got room. Um, coming
Definitely
out
gets
of
tight.
three, yeah, coming out of three, it looks like the 46 gets into the wall, comes down, and gets to 43, which led to a very colorful radio conversation. Um, we'll go back here. Well, let's see. The radio, you just have to have been there. We're not going to replay that. Well, primarily because I have the volume turned down, so it's not uber loud. Uh, we'll go with rear chase. No, far chase. Yeah, we'll go with far chase to be able to see a little bit better from Eli's perspective. Um, I mean, they're both pushing. Eli's pushing up the corner quite a bit, getting pretty close to the wall, but 46 has enough room. One thing I had noticed, and we'll switch to 46's perspective, is right there. It kind of looks like some net code between the 43 and the 46, where the front end of the 46 kind of gets turned right just a little bit. Um, so I kind of feel like that might have helped propel him into the wall, because otherwise I think he would have just missed it. I think they would have been fine. Um, coming off the turn, the 43 gets down a ways, probably realizes he ran the 46 tight, trying to give him some room, and the 46 kind of comes down and into the 43. Um, we'll look at it from the cockpit view here. Come back a little bit. So yeah, he's got a lot of wheel input here, trying to make sure he doesn't smack the wall and
It's
just.
tight racing for sure, but
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, like right here, that's pretty tight right there. Like if it was me driving, I'd feel like I don't have any room. Um,
right.
so I understand if the 46 felt like he didn't have room, because you're looking from the sky, it looks like, oh, you've got enough, you've got just enough, but right here it's like, oh, I'm you know definitely about to eat the wall. Like I can't avoid that. Nonetheless, uh, I mean, as you can see right here, the wheel kind of looks turned to the left constantly. Um, I don't know if that was. I can't speak for what it was. I can only speak for what it looks like. But yeah, the wheel was turned mostly to the left the whole time. And then even afterwards, we're still left. But that was the only caution. Um, the admin team, of course, is going to review that and do what needs to be done. But
Certainly something to look at and to discuss.
that was the only caution of the night. Like I said, led into some colorful conversation there. And then, yeah, the rest of the race is pretty clean. It really set us up for a interesting fuel strategy. Like I said, um, we were about 2 to 3 laps short, depending on who you were, I guess. Um,
Well, see, that was the thing because I think there was probably what 6 or 7 laps in this window before you had to pit.
right.
Um, which probably it would have been well, yeah, it would have gotten to the end. Um, had you split it right in half. Um, but like I said, uh, Josh, Daryl, and myself opened up that set because everybody pitted here, and then we pitted again on like 5 or 6 laps later. Excuse me. And I think a couple guys staggered in after that, but then a lot of like you and Mitch, like you said, stayed out.
Hmm.
Handful of guys stayed out longer, and then it was like I said, it was just cool to see how many different people did something different just to try to gain the advantage. Holy shit!
Yeah, I was number one. I was like I was way right to begin with. Okay, so I wasn't following this. The 15 in front of me, I wasn't really worried about him. I must have just been focused on uh, pit speed and all
Well, it
that
comes up
stuff.
quick because I drove by you and saw you back, and I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, and like I said, I think my spotter or my crew chief or something was talking, or the team was talking. I don't know. Like I missed the countdown. which usually only happens when I'm like the first pit box once you come
Right.
in. But yeah, big freaking miss there. Um,
Well, that's the one downside about when you pit all the way to the right like that. Well, not pit when you're one of the first ones because you've got to go from the right all the way to the left.
right. I just noticed these pit boxes are freaking huge.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
look how much room you got right there versus right there. Like this should be just as much on the front. But anyway, um, but yeah, we totally screwed that up. Um, this is a good pit stop.
Yeah,
Seemed
but
like for everybody, like everybody kept it really clean there. I don't know if I don't know what was I even saying. I don't. I have no freaking clue. But yeah, after that, interesting pit strategies. You had some dudes pit early. Um, I think Anthony was one of the first guys to pit, if I'm not mistaken, because he was the first one I saw at least. He goes in pretty much like 1 to 2 laps after, so he stayed out there. I wonder if yeah, I definitely didn't miss it. Oh, we're still behind the pace car. Duh. All right, we go green here. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Anthony Pitts in a dang hurry. Um, yeah, surprisingly, after missing my box that bad, uh I did not lose that many spots.
I just remembered a couple guys pitted on with 2 to go. They came back in after the pit stop to top off.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, and I think a couple of those guys ended up being the ones who were able to stretch it just enough to the end.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I thought he went there. It must have been the next lap. Dennis ate some wall right there, got some damage. I don't think that's really hurt him that much because he finished pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, never mind. He
Dennis, no,
finished. He finished 22nd, 1 lap down. That
he was the
sucks.
first car lap down.
Um, but yeah, I don't really have much to say other than it was a solid race. Like I said, different strategies. I don't know exactly who uh pitted late, but I know Anthony
The only
pitted
one I know
pretty
that pitted
early,
late yeah, the only one I know that pitted late was Kialoa, and like I said, I think he was just
topping
banking
off.
on a late race caution.
Yeah, and I would have thought we would have had another caution too. Especially, I thought there was going to be more cautions when we were all bunched up. Um, but I'm proud of everybody giving room and uh, showing respect and all that stuff. Um, it
No, I
definitely
agree.
it definitely showed on the track tonight because, like I said, it other than the one caution, the one slip up, everybody else, I mean, super clean on the restart, super clean on the initial start. Went really well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no real complaints.
Um, well, shoot, we'll move this on to our paint scheme of the week. Um, there were a couple different ones this week. Um, some of them I liked, some of them I liked a little bit more. Uh, who are you feeling like giving the paint scheme of the week to?
S- Guy I've given it to a handful of times. Right there. Nope. Go back.
Oh,
Go back two. There he
okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah, the Circle B cars. He always brings it with those. The number just pops.
Yeah, that chrome
Um,
number looks really good.
I mean, it's a simple scheme for the most part. I mean, the white. I've always liked a white based car. But the blue he's got really just pops, kind of similar to yours. Like there's just that blue really comes out in it, but it's not too much. But now his number's really badass.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with Jared this week.
very nice. I'm gonna go with a guy who uh unfortunately got wrecked. Um, I don't know if he's at this point in the race if he was even okay. He was still he was still in here. It was before he had quit out. But Eli, his Benetton car, just I mean it's just two colors. It's just dark green and light green. But it looks really good. It's extremely well put together. I'll go back a
Yeah,
little bit.
I
Um,
agree. I like the red number on top too. That's
yeah,
a cool touch.
yeah, that sticks out really nice. Oops. Can I
Yeah, it's
please?
a good looking car. Definitely a good looking car.
Yeah, extremely clean, minus the how blurry it is right here because I don't feel like picking up my keyboard and fixing that. But yeah, great looking car. Um, really enjoyed that. If I had to pick a second, because there was a couple dudes that looked really good, I think I would go with where is it at? It wasn't. Was it the? Yeah, it's Zach Lindgren right here. Um, he's got that Ford scheme, and that blue is like a. It's metallic. I don't know if it's candy or whatever it's supposed to be, but it's not yeah, it's not just plain Jane blue. Like there's definitely some clear metallic in there. But that car looked really good. I noticed that earlier today.
That shit ugly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a
uh,
Ford guy. No, the scheme itself looks good. Just if it was any other sponsor and
yeah.
make, nah, it's
Yeah.
a good looking car. I like the white that goes down the whole left side. That's pretty cool.
Where at? Right here.
Yeah, you can see it on the hood, and then it goes along. It
Okay.
looks like it goes on the
Okay, I
top.
see what you're saying. Yeah, that stripe.
Yeah,
Stripe
I
along the
like
top.
that.
I like this. This is interesting here. Like it's I guess dark blue right here on the A pillar and then he's got that
Oh
white
yeah,
stripe,
yeah.
the blue. I've started doing that on my cars except, it's one color up to past the name and then I put a couple other stripes right here. Like I think it's cool to incorporate the roof rail in the paint scheme. It
It's
looks
up on
really
the
good.
bottom too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Um, sweet. Well, a lot of stuff happened in sports this week. If you didn't see, Cam Scataboo, I don't know why you pronounce his name Scataboo. There's not two O's. It should be Scatabo, but whatever. His parents named him that. Um, I guess they couldn't really choose that part either, huh?
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
fair.
so Cam Scataboo dislocated his ankle. Um, it's possible he's done for the season. Um, though I thought his injury was a lot worse until I watched a video where somebody was talking about it. It was a podcast or something. And they were discussing it, and the doctor dude was like, "Oh, he just dislocated his ankle," and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds a lot worse than I thought. Like broke his leg or broke his ankle." Um,
I mean, it looked like it was on backwards, but
right, but yeah, dude said it was just dislocated, and before they put him on the cart, they popped that Joker back into place. I bet
no,
that friggin' hurt. I bet that was
yeah,
incredibly
that's
painful. And they said the only real damage was probably, um, there probably wasn't any broken bones. Actually, he said there definitely wasn't any broken bones. Maybe a slight fracture, something like chipping or something like that. But the only real damage he said was that there's like a few tendons on your ankle, some on the side, on the front, or whatever. But he said those probably had some damage, stretching, whatever. But other than that, no bones or anything broke. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit. Dude's gonna be okay, but yeah, he's probably not playing any more football this season, which sucks for him. Because that dude was a friggin' beast. That dude is probably the reason the Giants are winning some games. Like that dude's good.
he's a lot of fun to watch. He's got that personality. And he's just that feel good guy. And Giants fan or not,
You gotta like that guy.
yeah, you got to root for
He's
him.
so
It's a lot of
out there. um, but yeah, so he's gonna be okay. Trying to think what else happened. I didn't really watch a whole lot of games. I watched a little bit of the Buccaneers game. Um, they got the win over the Saints, which there's nothing to brag about there. The Saints are garbage. Um, I think what's his name, Anthony Nelson. I think. Um, I don't know what position on defense he was playing exactly, but uh, he was able to get his hands on one that the quarterback was throwing. Uh, he hit it up in the air, was able to catch it, and then it was Rattler at the time, and then he ran over Rattler because they were at like the I don't know 1-2 yard line when he threw the ball. Dude hit it about the 5 to 7 yard line, freaking caught the ball and ran over Spencer Rattler to score. That was pretty sick and insane. That was our first score too. I was actually really disappointed in our team. It took us forever. I think it was the second quarter before we scored, and it wasn't even the offense; it was the defense. Um, I think the offense marched down the field like really far, just to have to kick it or get a turnover or something. I don't know what it was. Um, but we didn't. Yeah, we didn't score and we didn't get any points. That was a real letdown. And then I guess there was a missed call officiating or something that Saints fans
Fuck.
were complaining about. Yeah, that seems to be a recurring thing. But yeah, the Saints got in the end zone. Dude caught the ball, whatever, in the end zone. He fell, lost the ball, whatever. Um, I guess they should have called the play right there because he caught the ball. But when he hit the ground, he lost the ball. Buccaneers picked it up. There was no whistle. A lot of people said there should have been a whistle, but Antoine Winfield, I think, snatched it up, took it all the way back down the other end of the field to the house, for another score for us. So even if we didn't get that touchdown, it was a pretty decisive win for us, I would say.
You
I
know,
don't.
that whole the whistle didn't blow thing, or that it should have. I don't play that BS anymore. We lost a game to the Packers years back because there was apparently a live ball and realistically probably should have been blown dead. None of the Bears guys went for it. So the Packers dude picked it up, ran to the end zone, we lost.
Yeah, that's annoying when
You
nobody
gotta you
else
gotta
in the
play to the
team
whistle.
knows, like, or
Yeah.
nobody on the other team realizes, oh, they didn't blow the whistle. Like, they just play like the play's over. Like, you cannot do that.
No, can't do it.
Um, I don't know. It's hard for me to. I think the easy cop out for idiot of the week in that regard would be, um, maybe the refs or something. But I'll be honest, I didn't watch a whole lot of sports. Um, the NASCAR race. William Byron threw it in there to threw it in the corner to get inside of Blaney, and there really wasn't room for him to be there. But yeah, I think he drove it up on the curb and knocked Blaney up the track a little bit. Blaney couldn't get back to him, but even Blaney said, that was that was racing hard right there. Byron
I mean,
didn't
he
do anything
dominated the
wrong.
race.
Yeah, so um, I don't know that I could really give it to anybody in NASCAR. Well, I take that back. I think it was you shared a article in there about Shane Gray getting suspended indefinitely by NASCAR for apparently he got in a tussle with officials. And if you don't know who Shane Gray is, apparently it's Taylor Gray's dad. Somebody else
Yeah.
in the Discord said that too. So um, yeah, shame on him. Uh, you can be upset, but you can't go putting your hands on officials or doing whatever he did because now he's suspended indefinitely. And I mean, that's got to suck. You suspended, you can't go to another race and watch your son race anymore from the stands. So that kind of blows.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's some dumb shit. Um, I'd say my two in the NASCAR world would be um Sam Mayer. I
Ooh,
hate that guy.
oh my
I
God, I'd forgot all about that.
Yeah, he's an idiot. As if wrecking the dude wasn't enough. He went in the post race interview and said that Jeb Burton doesn't have the it factor. He has the shit factor.
oh my
And then says
God,
that he
that's
just
what he
completely
said.
wrecked him. Yeah, and then he
I
said he
missed
wrecked him
that.
after the race.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
said
I
he
heard.
did apologize to Jordan Anderson for wrecking the car, but yeah, he
Yeah,
completely admitted to wrecking Jeb after the race, which I mean everybody knew that she did it on purpose, but
and he did it after
just
the checkered too. Like there's
yeah,
go have a conversation with a guy, go throw hands with a guy, but don't wreck the race car. Like, not only did you destroy his car, you destroyed your car. Um, Now the car owner's pissed at you. Like, dude's lucky to have a ride. I wouldn't be surprised if dude gets fired or something during the off season. Um,
yeah, you can't do dumb shit like that. It's just ignorant.
Yeah, but I totally missed that. I would have absolutely picked Sam Mayer too. Yeah, after the checkered, he wrecks Jeb Burton for, I don't know, I guess some contact they were having previously, and yeah, then he goes not just during a post race interview, during the TV broadcast interview, he goes in
Yeah.
there and talking about how he wrecked him on purpose and how, this, that, and the other, talking about Jeb Burton and everything. It's just like at that point, you got to have been able to cool down and known how to handle yourself. So, I mean, I'm glad NASCAR penalized him. That dude's a freaking moron. But
Yeah, stupid. I can't stand that guy.
yeah,
Um, in other sports, he didn't really do anything, but Brian Kelly, he's another one. I can't stand that dude. He got axed from LSU.
my idiot would go to LSU in that case because Brian Kelly actually seems to have been doing pretty good. Um, I read an article comparing him and Billy Napier, I think, and the worst record he had at LSU in a season was like 9-4, or 8-4. It was 4 losses. That was the worst he did. Like, come on now, that's pretty good. I mean, coming from
Like
a Gators fan, like that's pretty good.
it sounds like he's kind of a bad dude, like just a real dick.
I mean,
I've
I
heard a lot of
wouldn't doubt
stories
it,
coming
but
out since then, like since he's been let go. Um, I couldn't stand him when he was with Notre Dame, but I also don't like Notre Dame. Um, but I mean, he's got experience. He's still a good coach. I'm sure he'll get picked up somewhere, but
yeah, I wouldn't be upset if we picked him up. That wouldn't be too bad.
that'd be wild. Um, as far as
And I mean, are they
idiot,
really, are they really losing out because they're making him and Billy both are making a ton of money right now?
oh
So
yeah, those guys are getting freaking paid. Um, as far as idiot in the race, I don't know that there was one. It was clean. It was, you know, it was solid.
yeah,
I don't really have any. There was nothing egregious aside from what may have been that caution, but without looking at it a little bit more, it's too early to cast judgment. So we'll just leave it at that.
yeah, I got you. Um, yeah, I mean, past, I don't want to put anybody on blast for that caution there for this particular part of the podcast, but I mean, past that, dude, everybody kept it really clean. I can't. I just go with myself for missing my pit box that bad. But no, I mean everybody did super good. Um, Even the usual suspects for idiot of the week, seem to do really good. Um,
Actually, what we can do, the flip side would be the high IQ of the week.
hey,
Um,
that's a good idea.
and we'll give that to Marcus. He was having some connection issues and asked to be put at the end of the line, so we did, and it worked out because he apparently had a pretty fatal issue and he ended up in the barrels, which had he been where he wanted to or where he qualified, he probably would have taken a few guys out in the process. So in lieu of the idiot of the week, we'll give him the high IQ move of the week.
Yeah, that's something you like. N- nobody would believe that if it wasn't on video and everyone was there to witness it. Uh, Marcus is never going to get that award again.
Well, not only that, but I'll give him credit too. It's because you could easily say, well, maybe my connection will even out. I'm not giving up my spot, and then you potentially take out a couple guys. You're not going to see that in a lot of other leagues. You're sure as hell not going to see that in officials.
No,
So
I'm
to have
not.
had, you know, somebody say, "Hey, my connection sucks. Just put me in the back because I don't want to hurt anybody else." Like, big ups to Marcus for that.
Yeah, big time. Um, yeah, I don't know who else would I give that to. Um, I don't know. I feel like if you, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of somebody who I could give a high IQ of the week to, but I don't know. I don't have anything. Um, all I know is what was going on around me. Um, I feel like taking 2 tires, at least for my experience, was a pretty low IQ move. Mitch took 4. Me and Mitch pitted at the same time. He took 4. I took 2. I got out. I think I was well past him before he pulled out of his pit stall. Probably only saved me like 4 or 5 seconds in pits, but nonetheless, I got out earlier than him. but he was able to run me down pretty quick. Car felt looser with two tires, the new two right sides, which was good in a way. I ran my fastest lap after that pit stop after taking two. However, um, I think I even back out a lot quicker than I would have if I would have taken four. Mitch was able to easily catch me and probably would have passed me if it not been for either him just not wanting to uh, risk getting next to me and burning his stuff up, or him expecting me to make a mistake because I sure did make a mistake with three to go. Um, I almost had 11th and I had to settle for 13th. But yeah, um, yeah, good call on the high IQ move. And like I said, I don't have anything for idiot of the week. Nobody really did anything stupid. So, um, yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We re-rack them in New Hampshire next week. Go from a 2.5 mile triangle to a little baby dick oval. So
I'm excited for New Hampshire. Not necessarily because I feel like I'm going to do well. Um, I hope I don't do bad, but I'll be debuting my Buccaneers scheme, which I think everybody in the Discord's had a chance to see that. All
it's
these
clean.
dudes, all these dudes keep touting about Drake May, and I'm gonna go look at the standings right now because I don't know where they're at after this past weekend. So I gotta see that. But oh, what is that? Okay, never mind. NFL. I want standings. Hey, man, just there it is.
I mean, they're in a
Stand.
division with the Dolphins and the
Okay,
Jets, so
they're
it's
six
really
and
not
two.
much of
Yeah,
a
their only competition is Buffalo, and Buffalo's had a bye, and it doesn't look like New England has.
uh,
Um, they are not the only 6-2 team. You also have the Denver Broncos 6-2, and you have Philadelphia at 6-2. You also have Tampa Bay at 6-2. Um, those are the only four teams at 6-2, and only one team is one loss, and that's Indiana, which I'm still really surprised about. I got to watch them play because they're doing really freaking good somehow.
so
But
not that I want to give these Pats fans any more ammo, but
please don't.
they've s- they've scored 6 more points than Buffalo has on the season, and they've allowed the same amount.
Okay. Well,
So
maybe they can keep that up. Let's go see who they're playing next. Looks like they're playing the Falcons next. I don't expect the Falcons to win that game, but I certainly don't expect them to lose by a whole lot. The Falcons are strong. I don't know when. I know London's been out. Michael Penix is out, so maybe at least one of them will come back and they'll be able to do some damage because they're a dangerous team when they got all their guys healthy. Uh,
no
they were
doubt.
they were tough for us to beat. Um, I think they'll be tough for the Patriots, and then of course, um, not this not this weekend obviously, but next weekend they'll be playing us. So that'll be a victory for us. It's not going to be an easy victory, but it will be a victory nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and speak that into existence right now.
Here's hoping, right?
Well, do you have anything else, my man?
I got nothing, man. We'll catch everybody at New Hampshire.
That's right. Don't forget to write us some questions. Um, we had some really good questions by Zach Lindgren a few weeks ago. So don't forget to send us some questions. We can answer those, comments, whatever you got. Send them to us so we can talk about them, have more to talk about. Anyway, we'll see you next week in New Hampshire. Peace out.
Later.